The UFC 300 pre-fight press conference just recently wrapped up, and I'm going to recap the entire thing. The second time I'm doing this because my microphone didn't pick up any audio the last time I recorded this. So here is the remake. It is what it is. It's how the game goes. So make sure you guys smash the likes. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I'm going segmented. We'll start with Dana White. We'll work our way through the key moments through the press conference. Dana White's moments were the biggest. I'll spoil something. $300,000 bonuses. That's a performance of the night right there. That's what I want to see. I want to see that more often. That was badass. So let's talk about Dana White's moments to start things out. He was asked initially about Conor McGregor, essentially, not said by name, but he was asked, is there any big announcement to make, Dana? We're alluding to Conor McGregor. That's what's being discussed here. That's what we wanted to hear. I'll be honest, I did too, but didn't happen. They said, Dana said himself, don't believe everything you read on the internet. Saying, it's bullshit. It ain't happening. Conor ain't fighting on International Fight Week. So let's throw that idea in the trash. And maybe we'll see Conor in 2025, man. Probably not. I don't even know what's going on with Conor. He's moving his shoulders like he's doing methamphetamine. I don't know. Hopefully it happens, but we don't know. Dana was also asked about Mark Coleman wrapping the belt around the BMF winner. He said, absolutely. That's dope. Mark Coleman recently saved his parents in a damn house fire. The dude's as BMF as they fucking come. I need to see him at more UFC events. Obviously, this I already brought up, but Dana was asked about this $300K bonus. And what did he say? Absolutely 300,000. Fuck yes. For UFC 300, this is the game changer because with $300,000 on the line, $50K is a lot of money. $300,000 is a fuck ton of money. And any fighter on this card is like, another $300K if I finish this guy, or another $300K if we're a fight of the night. I'm bringing everything. I'm telling you right now, I think there's a lot more fights going under 2.5 rounds because of that. I need some fights ending inside of the distance. The crowd went crazy. Dana's taken a lot of flack in the past. Not here. The crowd was chanting, Dana, Dana. I'm chanting it too as I'm watching. Dana, Dana. I'm hype as hell. Dana was also asked, what's the canvas color? It's blue. Okay. Bikini bottom blue. I fuck with that. Better than gold. I think gold would have looked weird. Better than the yellow from 200. That was hideous. Then Dana was asked about topping UFC 300. He essentially said, absolutely, we're going to top UFC 300 eventually. This is a new era. This is the 300 era now. So are things going to change? And he said it's just going to keep getting better and better. That's what essentially how I took it. The UFC brings the heat constantly, and this is all they focus on. He was then asked about this UFC Manchester card. Is it happening? He said, absolutely, it is, but no specific date. Then this fucking cringy reporter is talking to Dana White about a $400K bonus for UFC 400. Before that, he asked a question to Jim Miller about it. Shout out to the Zim pouch. I hated this guy. To be honest, I didn't like him at all. But it's fine, you know, you want to make a jokey question and waste everybody's fucking time. Why are we talking about 400? I shouldn't even be talking about it right now. This is the bullshit I got to do now. Because of you, motherfucker. Then he was asked, oh, does UFC 300 top WrestleMania? Motherfucker, get out. That's what I wanted to do to him. Get him the fuck out. That man should never ask another question at a UFC event. There's hardworking motherfuckers in the space that have actual knowledge of a man. We're asking about WrestleMania? That's about WrestleMania right now? Are you fucking with me? Get this guy out. I never want to see his face at a UFC event. He should be banned from watching the fucking UFC on TV. Put a fucking parental control on his ass. Ask him about WrestleMania. Get him the fuck out. Dana was also asked about this 100 events that, you know, previous to 200 to 300, like how the sport has changed and the era. And he said, yeah, it's going to get better and better. The same type of shit. Some of these questions is like, are we fucking rinse and repeating? Did you not hear that motherfucker almost ask the same thing? Yes, it's going to get better and better. That's the fucking goal of the company. Dana was asked about Jessica Andrade. Could she be a female BMF? And Dana's like, yeah, the belt goes for either. It was kind of awkward. He didn't really answer it. It's obviously just engaging Andrade and not fighting for the BMF title. But, you know, didn't seem interested in making a BMF belt for the women's fights. Now, I'll tell you something that was huge that Dana said that I left until the end here. UFC Africa. Boom, 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 boom. Down in Africa. You know the song? UFC Africa, they're trying to do this year, 2024. Sadly, it's not with the African Kings era, but hey, we got one African King. We got Dricus du Plessis as the world champ. That's pretty badass. Spain seems like no for 2024. Dana was asked about that. He said arena availability is holding him back. Then you see Joaquin Buckley run up and ask Dana, can he main event St. Louis? And Dana's like, He gave him the, we're done. See you guys later. Curtain closed. But Buckley, I give him respect for asking it. And I think he should be the main event. Bro, Derek Lewis and Rodrigo Nascimento. Let's do that 3-round co-main event. And let's give Buckley like Jeff Neal or something. I don't know who. But somebody that can fight. And we'll do a 5-round fight. Let's give him Neil Magny even. I'll fucking watch it. Now, Neil Magny won't be main event worthy, though. Give him Jeff Neal. Let's do a fucking main event. Jeff Neal, if you're ready, if you're listening, put it on. All right. Now we're going to get into the actual fighter questions. We'll start with the UFC 300 main event. Alex Pereira, Jamal Hill. Now, first question went towards Alex Pereira, and he was asked, will Jamal Hill strike with him? Alex alluded to yes, I'll take it as, but things get lost in translation, man. He said, this being Alex Pereira, that he ranks Jamal Hill 4th best light heavyweight. Behind, obviously, him. I don't know who the others, maybe Prohashka, maybe Magomed, and then Jamal Hill. So he sees it as a good matchup for himself. Then Hill was asked, will this be his sweetest victory ever? And Hill said, no doubt I'm here to put his ass to sleep. And he doesn't care about where Alex Pereira ranks him. He doesn't give a fuck. Jamal Hill don't give a fuck. Pereira was then asked a question later on. This is later. Right now, we're going in order of bouts, not chronologically when these questions are asked, so this will be a fucking shit show. Pereira was asked, actually him and Oliveira both, but this is the Pereira part, so you hear this question again. Are you feeling that not speaking English is a good thing because it's like a mystery for the American fans, and you're still a fan favorite, or do you think it would actually help the love for the American fans if you spoke English? Pereira said, the people have accepted him, it doesn't matter. He's happy to be here. Shamma. That's how he finished. That's it. Simple, to the point. Hill was then asked about his Alex Pereira water bottle. It was like the Easter Island head. And he said he's getting acquainted with that visual. Pereira got a translation for this one and said back, I'm going to make him remember this moment as I enter the octagon. And then Hill kind of got pissed. He said, write it down, take a picture. I don't give a fuck. When you're stepping in there with me, there ain't no talking about it. These guys got heated. It was finally some heat. Right here, Jamal Hill was freaking out. He said, it's all right here, and I'm on your ass. And he mic dropped, and Pereira just stared because there was no translation. Pereira didn't even understand what he said. You just saw him freak out. That was funny. They should have gave Pereira a translation. I wanted a rebuttal, but no, that's not how they did it. It is what it is. Now, I'm going to go with like more emphatic moments as opposed to just jumping to Weili and Jan. I'll finish out the main card in order, in a sense, but not bout order, savage order. Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway. Gaethje was asked about that Max Holloway chin. Does he believe that he is the most durable in the UFC? Gaethje said Max is a warrior, and he believes so, and that both of them are coming out to hurt each other, and that Max is the perfect BMF challenger. He's a legend. Max was asked, is he going to have a higher pace than Justin Gaethje because he's moving up in weight? He said, beautiful thing. We find out Saturday night. He said that Battle of Legends, and he respects Gaethje a lot, and he also said that he kind of like alluded to liking what Justin Gaethje said about not planning to be alive Sunday. He said he's going to go out and fight hard, his absolute hardest. Max was then asked, if you win on Saturday, become the first fighter to win the interim, the undisputed in BMF, and he said he couldn't care less. I have Gaethje in front of me, and it's going to be violence, and even more with 300,000 on the line. So he don't care about the belts, the accolades. He cares about the fights, and that's what I love about Max Holloway. Great fight. Charles Oliveira, Arman Tsarukyan. Oliveira was asked, where does he rank Arman amongst the past opponents? Oliveira pretty much, listed out his resume. He said I'm a lion and a tricky one at that, and that he owns the division. The champion has a name, Charles Oliveira. Arman was asked what a win over Oliveira means. He said, he expecting the boos, boo, that's all coming in. He's happy to be there to fight him, number one contender, yada, yada. He wants to fight for the title. Okay, next. Oliveira was asked the same question that Pereira was asked about being Brazilian, not speaking English, but like still being a UFC fan favorite. And he said, do you think more people would love you, or is the mystery better? Same question that Pereira got. Oliveira said, of course, speaking English, it would be easier to communicate, but love is universal, and he feels the love from everybody. He's feeling the love, man. Hey, we love Charlie Olives, bro. Arman was then asked a question about Armenian Heritage Month. How does the sport feel? Feels good. Yes, he's repping Armenia. Yep. Random question. Okay, next fight. Weili Zhang, Yan Xiaonan. We'll talk about this one. Still on the main card. Weili was asked, what does Yan bring that she hasn't seen? Weili says hello, and she respects Yan. How? She respects Yan. Thank you. She's very strong. Very strong. Thank you. Thank you. Good. It was beautiful. Weili's a savage. Jan then asked, is Weili the perfect fighter, essentially? And she said, yes, we have mutual respect. Both give a big threat. Great fight on the way. Not a lot to say. That's how it goes. Bo Nickel, Cody Brundage. This is worth discussing because Bo was asked what problems Cody presents, and essentially he said, because he actually knows how to wrestle, and nobody else I fought knew how to wrestle. Cody was asked why he feels, it's the perfect time to face against Bo Nickel. What holes is he seeing? Obviously Brundage then said, well, Bo hasn't been through the fire. I've had ups and downs, but that makes me better, he essentially said. And he said he's going to make Bo Nickel answer these questions Saturday. Excited as hell to see the fight. I'm looking forward to it. Now I'm going to jump to the prelims. But again, I'm going in order of savagery, not just in order of like yada yada through every fight. Davison Figueiredo, Cody Garbrandt actually had good moments. Figgy was asked about Garbrandt, essentially saying that Figgy didn't want to fight him. Davison says good evening to the crowd in Portuguese. He said, you guys are used to me yelling at Moreno, love you, Moreno, and now I'm fighting a new guy. Nothing to say, but God bless, and he's going to get the win Saturday. Cody was asked, is he excited for the fight? He shouted out the UFC. He said he's been waiting a long time, and he's ready to take that throne again. He was also then asked about these back-to-back wins, and is he still the same guy that beat Dominic Cruz when he was on fire years ago? He said absolutely yes. He's been working with the UFC PI, and they got him a sports therapist for the past 2 years to get his mind right. He said the speed and power is the same. It's just the mental, and now the mental's better. I hope so. We'll find out. Cody then was asked about the fight going distance, and he's like, no, I'm knocking his ass out. 300K bonus on the line. Figgy's going to sleep. I think somebody's going to sleep. I don't think it's Figgy, though. Next one, Bobby Green, Jim Miller. This fight was 10 years in the making. Bobby and Jim were both asked this question. It was for both. And then are they happy? Are they avoiding bad luck, like walking on the ladders? I don't know. Random type of question. Miller says Bobby's a legend. He's been around a long time. I'm a fan of his style. I love sharing the cage with guys I've been watching a long time. Green that says, holy shit, looking at the crowd. His eye kind of looks weird, though. I'm a little paranoid. I don't know. He took a lot of shots after he was knocked out against Jalen Turner. I don't know if he's going to be the same. He said, I'm a soldier. I'm ready. And he felt like that question was more towards him. He said, with the 300K bonus, he's not missing shit. I like the confidence. I like what I heard. I like what I heard a lot. Then Miller's asked a question, and this is the same asshole from earlier that was talking to Dana White. He alluded to Jim as the great Jim Miller. Jim's like, no, it's Jim fucking Miller, and I hope they announce it as such. He said, Jim, you've been undefeated at these 100 events. You plan on keeping the streak alive for 400. Can we not ask stupid fucking questions? For fuck's sake, man. I don't need that question answered. It doesn't make any sense. It's dumb. He says, in this fight, I'll fight to my strengths, and it'd be fun. For 400, I'll fight with the 400K bonus. And that's when the dude gave Dana that cringy-ass question. My God. Get that guy the fuck out. Get him out. Miller was asked if this fight would have happened sooner by somebody else. It's the same fucking question. He's like, yeah, no, it's perfect timing. They're both ready to go. He said, hey, there's not a better man to be across than Bobby Green with 300K bonuses on the line. That was a good part. Prochazka Rakic. This was short and sweet. Rakic was asked, it's been a long time since you fought. Are you ready to fight for that King of Europe title? And he says, absolutely. And he's ready to show that he's the King of Europe, and then he's going to be the King of the world. Prochazka then was asked about bringing the Samurai back. Are you ready to bring him back Saturday? He said that he's not looking to become the King of Europe. He's looking to become the King of the world. He doesn't care about that King of Europe title. And he said, after this fight, I'm looking at the title. And he definitely is. Badass. I got a lot on the line with that fight. I got Rakic as the lock, but I'm putting my beard on the line. So if you're watching the Fight Companion Saturday, if Rakic loses, I got to shave my beard on the live stream. But I'm telling you, this beard's going to be looking thick as Rakic gets a win. And I hate Rakic. I don't really hate him, but I don't like him that much. I'm a fan of Prochazka, but I do think Rakic is going to win, unfortunately. Sadiq Yusuf, Diego Lopez. My God, this fucking question to start made me want to puke. Yusuf was asked, oh, so you're a Disney Plus star. What do it mean to be a UFC 300 star? The fuck, man? I need a sip of this. The fuck is this question? Disney Plus star. Yusuf said it's a hell of a card. I'm going to try and stand out. And he pitched a bonus for the early prelims, the prelims in the main card. And Dana said, listen, there's already a 1.2 mil on the line. Shut up, please. That's what he said. That's essentially what he said. It was funny. Then Lopez was asked about representing the Latin people, the Brazilian people, Lobo Jim, etc. The crowd's going crazy for him, and he looks badass. He said he's very emotional and proud to represent the Spanish-speaking countries in Brazil. Let's go. He's ready to rock. And he was asked about how this year has been crazy for him. How did he turn into such a beast? He goes from not in the UFC a year ago to now fighting on 300 and being like a household name. or at least close to it. He says the craziest 11 months of his life. He thinks Dana saw something in him, and with that 300K bonus, he knows he's here. And then another reporter said that, all the Latinos are behind him. And then he says, listen, I always had the Hispanic support, but now I have the whole world support. They're going to see why I have this support and why I deserve to be at UFC 300 on Saturday. So badass for him. Next up, we got Holly Holm and Kayla Harrison. Ladies talking some shit. Not really. To be honest, it was really respectful. Holly was asked about what intrigues her about the fight, and then Holly wants to fight the best, the biggest challenges, and she seemed kind of low energy and low confidence. Weight cut, we'll give her a benefit of the doubt. Kayla was then asked about where does this UFC debut rank compared to like winning a gold medal and fighting in PFL, etc. And she shouted out Vegas and said, damn, it feels good. And just two things on her mind. She kind of tried to cut a WWE promo. Two things on my mind. A belt and a burger. I'm like, what the fucking second part? I get it. You're hungry. You want a cheeseburger. I don't know. She's on a strict diet. I give her benefit of the doubt. She's fighting at 35 for her first time. She said Holly's a great opponent. She's excited to be there. And then she was asked, like, what do fans that haven't seen Kayla fight have to look forward to? She said the elbows. She said she's going to be ripping a lot of elbows. Expect a lot of blood. And at the end, this was at like the end of the press. She was asked about fighting in front of the godfather of ground and pound himself. And, assuming she's going to bring some heavy ground and pound. She said she's super excited. It's been a long and windy road. And then she mentioned her faith and not giving up on her dreams. And that's what got her here. And she's going to give it a roll. So respect. I expect a good fight. Jalen Turner, Renato Moicano. I'm sorry to Money Moicano. He was this far down. There just wasn't a lot of questions. Moicano is then asked a question. The guy's like, I didn't have a question for Moicano. Best part of it all. Savage Moyo. What's up? What's up? Love that. Love that. Then the question's being asked, and then Moicano's like, tell him louder, tell him louder. And then he's, asked, what does he need to do for a bonus? He said, many champions, what's up, America? What's up, Vegas? I was watching 100 and 200 on the couch, motherfucker. And now I'm here. It's going to be a show. I'll get the bonus. So he's ready for it. And I expect him to go hard. Now, the thing is, Jalen Turner doesn't seem too bonus focused. He was asked about it, and he said, listen, I'm focused on getting the job done. He said, actually, we should do all finishers get a bonus. Who knows that'll happen? Kind of low energy. Moicano's the GOAT. He won the press conference. I'm picking against him in the fight, but damn, the press conference was Money Moicano's own. Now, Calvin Kattar, Aljamain Sterling. Listen, the Aljo hate from me is not intentional. I'm telling you guys. That's why he's at the second to bottom tier of this fucking, post or pre-press conference, post-breakdown, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Aljo was asked about his 145 debut. He said he feels good. He's not irritated. He's not hungry. He's grateful to be here and accomplish more great things. Kattar was asked, does he think Aljo's a real featherweight? And he's like, dude, I don't fucking care. He didn't say that exactly, but that's what he meant on the inside. He's focused on getting himself back in the mix and showing these featherweights that Calvin Kattar's still here. Aljo was then asked, what's it like to have cheers? Is that extra motivation for the featherweight debut? He said, it's kind of nice to get cheered for once. He's used to the booze. He said everything ups his energy. He's excited to be back. I wrote down here, boring, ... Sorry, Aljo. But come on, man. Come on, Aljo. Aljo's a good guy, but at this point, he's just fun to shit talk. Like, it's fun to fuck with Aljo a little bit. This is how it goes. This is how the game goes. It's the game. Jessica Andrade, Marina Rodriguez. This one was simple, straight to the point. Andrade was asked about the bad spell. Did she lose confidence? She said, she had fear in there. She was going through a lot, in her personal life, getting divorced and whatnot. She said the lion is still in her. She hasn't stopped roaring, and that Jessica ain't dead. Marina's then asked about fighting for the title next. I'm like, bro, you just lost to Verna Jandaroba, but you ain't getting a title shot next. But okay. She said, the stage is perfect. I'm going to knock out Jessica, and I'm getting the title. I guess if you knock out Jessica, that's huge. Then she said, my opponent is from China. So, hey, maybe. Those were the press conference question moments, dude. We need to have an MMA YouTuber section. I need a section where every MMA YouTuber with, I don't know, a certain number of subscribers gets a chance to ask something. Small segment. Just for something special, something spicier, because some of these questions, my goodness, are we reading off a fucking questionnaire book? It's like a telemarketer question. It's robotic, the same shit every time. I want to talk about the face-offs, okay? Was there any crazy energies? Like, I just want to discuss what I saw from everybody going nose to nose with one another. So we'll start Figueiredo, Garbrandt, intense to the point. Figgy cracking the knuckles. Cody looks bigger than him. I'll tell you that straight up. Bobby Green, Jim Miller, respect between them both, but Green came at him intense, and he said, fourth time's a charm. Let's go. And it is fourth time's a charm. Let's make it happen. Andrade, Marina Rodriguez, respect between the Brazilians, both rocking that 300 jacket, looking pretty spiffy. They're ready to fight. Jalen Turner, Moicano was intense, but very respectful. Money Moicano, well-dressed. One of the best dressed on stage. Maybe the best dressed. He's repping that money well. Sadiq Yusuf, Diego Lopez, a firm handshake, a respectable stare down, and 2 guys ready for war. Holly Holm, Kayla Harrison. Dana said, welcome to the UFC to Kayla, but it was like derogatory. It's like, welcome to the fucking UFC. He hugged Holly Holm after the presser. You know he's rooting for Holly. Simple face-off, but a long stare down and no handshake between these 2 ladies. Now, Calvin Kattar and Aljamain Sterling was very respectable as far as the face-off went. Aljo looked pretty blinged up. Respect on the jewelry, the gold teeth, the chain. Aljo looked like he's a rapper. Maybe that's a second run. Post-fighting, we got Aljamain dropping some heat. We call him Alja Savage or something like that. Little Aljo. Maybe that's what's next. Yuri Prohashka, Alexander Rakic. Rakic looked tall and strong. Face-to-face, it was intense. It's going to be a war. You can feel that energy. It was really heavy. They're both staring into each other's souls, both confident, and I'm ready for a great fight there. Bo Nickel, Cody Brundage. The crowd booed at, Bo because they don't think he deserves a main card spot. Let's be honest, he really doesn't. But they're trying to build him. It is what it is. Handshake, saw the face off. They look ready to rock. Nothing crazy. Charles Oliveira and Tsarukyan was fun. Both had the shades on. They took them off, and they went nose to nose with one another. It was strong intensity. They're ready for war. Arman Tsarukyan looked away first, and I'm telling you, he looked a little spooked. He looked a little shaken, like he looked at a super Chad and Charles Oliveira and questioned himself just a little. And Oliveira looked tall as well in that yellow suit. He looked like he might be fighting for the belt next. I like what I saw from Charles. Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway. It was just a good old respectable face-off between 2 savage, and then Gaethje said to him after, let's get that money after the face-off. 2 guys that like each other, they're going to go to war. With money on the line, they'll kill each other. Weili Zhang, Yan Xiaonan, handshake, respect. The tracksuit on Weili looked pretty dope. She brought out the Chinese flag and a huge smile, cheek to cheek. And honestly, this is like a true battle of martial arts, like old school, bows to one another. They're ready to go after. Repping China with respect. Alex Pereira, Jamal Hill, main event. Hill has Pereira's head on the chain, and he's giving Pereira a stare, but Pereira's bringing a different type of stare. He's bringing a death stare. Hill raises that chain up with Pereira's type head on it. There's no emotion from Pereira. Hill shakes his head yes, and Pereira then turns away. They flex. I mean, they kind of stared at each other a bit longer. They kind of backed him off, and then Pereira kept staring. He walked up so slow. He looked like a serial killer. So he walked up. There's no fear in him. You can tell Jamal Hill's getting pissed now. When Pereira flexed, he looked jacked. He looked huge. Hill then says, the champ is here. He slams down that, Easter Island head of Alex Pereira. He looks hype, but the energy's totally different. I think Hill knows he's in for a scary fight. It's like he looked at a dude that just had more savage in him. I couldn't describe the way he looked at him. Like, he's reassuring himself because he's wondering why he's feeling these questions. It's because it's Alex Pereira. Hill does hype himself up. He's a high-energy guy. It's how he is. He had a little meltdown, though. And I think that Pereira looked terrifying. He looked like a damn strangler. I think Jamal Hill's in trouble. Pereira's aura is unmatched. There's nobody that has it like him. The way he looked into his soul, it was different. And you could see, like, Jamal Hill felt it. He felt that intensity from Alex Pereira. Strike and fight, battle of strikers. I got Poatan in the main event. That was the UFC 300 press conference reaction. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you all for tuning in. Smash the like button if you guys are new. Also, subscribe. I guess if you're new, smash the likes. But also, if you always tune in, smash the likes. Make sure you subscribe it up. Keep it locked in right here on the MMA Experts channel. I love each and every one of you guys. Thank you for the continued support. Let me know what you thought of the press conference in the comments. And also let me know what you thought of the press conference reaction. Nothing to say? W in the chat to boost the algorithm for your boy. Thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.